Good afternoon, everybody. It's such a pleasure to be here with you all today. I'm Katharine Burnett. If you don't know me already, I'd like to introduce myself, and I'm the director of the UC Davis Global Tea Initiative for the study of tea culture and science. And it is my absolute sincere pleasure to welcome you all to the afternoon session of the second annual Colloquium on Taste, Smell, Sight, Hearing, Touch, the Sensory Aspects of Tea. Before we get going, as it was the Office of the Provost that gave us authority to develop the Global Tea Initiative in the first place, I'd like to invite Interim Provost Ken Burtis to say a few words. Please.
Thank you very much. It is a great honor and pleasure to provide my official welcome to all of you to the second annual Colloquium, this time on the sensory aspects of tea, on behalf of myself and the Chancellor. And also just to tell you how pleased I am to join you here. I had the pleasure of being present at the first Colloquium as well, and was able to first sense some of the excitement around this venture at UC Davis. We officially launched the initiative with the first Colloquium, and it's only 8 months ago. It seems like it's gone by just like that. But the initiative is already well on its way to reaching its goal of becoming sort of an international hub of transdisciplinary research in this topic, really unlike any other in the world. The concept driving this initiative is both very insightful, brilliant, and just a beautiful thing. It builds on UC Davis's greatest strength as a research institution, which is our capacity to jump across boundaries, to combine the talents of researchers from multiple fields, and to focus on the links between them and the valuable space between them that has become now almost a foregone conclusion that that's where a lot of the excitement is in the world these days, at the boundaries between traditional disciplines. So in this case, it's exciting to look at the junction between unexpected things, and with tea, it's literally right under our noses, right? The things that you're going to talk about today, the nexus of all these things that come together through tea. What is it that's so special about tea? Why is it that I once made a special out-of-the-way sojourn on a trip to Japan to visit a fairly unremarkable town called Uji, to visit a tea shop that's been in continuous business on the banks of the Uji River for 857 years. Why did I do that? It shocked my hosts, who I was sitting there between Nara and Kyoto, and they expected I would go see this temple or that temple, and I said, no, I want to go visit a tea shop in Uji. Why is it that the only souvenir I brought back from my first trip to China a few weeks ago, in conjunction with the Confucius Institute, was a purple clay teapot from Yixing, to join an already overcrowded shelf of teapots from Japan in my office? Why was that? And the answer, of course, is that tea has a magic that transcends all five senses, which is, of course, the topic that you'll discuss today, as well as most of what I think are the best aspects of human behavior. Its role in social interactions, in friendship, in seeking comfort in times of need, in conversation, in ceremony, and all the other wonderful facets of human interaction. So for all these reasons, I'm very pleased that we are having this second colloquium. I'm very pleased that this initiative is ongoing at UC Davis. I would like to thank Katharine Burnett personally and her team, her tea team, for bringing us together today. And I want to recognize the tremendous progress that we've made in a fairly short period of time. The list of both active and potential partners seems to grow by the week in both numbers and in diversity of discipline, of location, both across the campus and around the globe, of both donors and of tea industry experts. I want to thank all of you for being here today and for joining us for tea. And I'd like you to please join me in both giving Katharine and her colleagues a big round of applause for bringing us all together today. So thank you.
Well, that was so incredibly sweet and thoughtful, and I want to say thank you for that, but also stress that this Global Tea initiative is something really wonderful that the campus is doing, and our faculty are so talented, and it is so wonderful to be able to work with them and with the community and the community of tea people, both aficionados and industry. It's really like nothing else out there. Well, thank you for coming out today. It has been rainy and wet and cold, and so we're grateful that people braved the weather, even as it's gotten a little bit better now. We know that's had a little bit of an impact on our audience, but we're grateful that people have come from all up and down the west coast of the United States, but as far as Colorado, Minnesota, Texas, New York, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and other places. And so you've come a long ways for this very special opportunity to hear some extraordinary people speak. Now, we appreciate your being here, demonstrating your interest, if not also your passion for tea and the support of the study of tea. And you know, we're the new kid on the block here with Davis's already established expertise in wine and beer and coffee and honey and other things, but we're excited to transform this idea as quickly as possible because we know that tea, and you know, tea is the most consumed beverage in the world. Only water is consumed more. The tea industry in the United States alone is about to reach $7 billion in sales and $20 billion in the food industry. So it's time that tea was not only served at the table, but studied. So we want to thank everybody that worked very hard to bring this together, the many people from our students and staff that helped out, the Confucius Institute staff, many departments across campus and offices across campus, starting with the provost's office, the dean's offices from the humanities and social sciences and agriculture and other, about 11 different departments. We've come together because there's a recognition that this is something that transcends any one department or discipline, and it's pretty special at Davis. We are delighted now to be able to acknowledge some corporate support from our first two industry partners, Q-Trade Teas and Herbs, which I want to acknowledge, and when we take a break at the midpoint, you'll be able to taste some of their teas that are out on the table and with a UC Davis stamp on them, and our second industry partner, Mighty Leaf Whole Leaf Tea. They are our inaugural partners and will help us grow and expand our growing number of supporters and advisors. I also note that ITI is in the audience today, and they also are our early industry supporter, along with some individual donors, Jerry Simmel, Matthew London, and Daryl Cordy. There's so much that I want to say, but you really came here to hear our visiting scholars.